On the day of the caucuses, the Cruz campaign sending supporters this email stating the press is reporting that Carson is taking time off after Iowa and making a big announcement next week. It goes on to say, please inform any Carson caucus goers of this news and urge them to caucus for Ted Cruz.
What he did is unthinkable. He said the man has just left the race, and he said it during the caucus.
Carson today saying the Cruz move cost him votes, describing what happened when his wife Candy showed up at a caucus location.
My wife went to a caucus, and the Cruz representative had spoken and told people that I was, in fact, not going to be continuing. And she obviously disabused them of that notion.
Cruz has now apologized to Carson, but stands by his campaign's actions.
Will you fire or suspend anyone in your campaign for putting out misinformation?
No, we're not going to scapegoat anybody. And I would note that the news story that our team passed on was true and accurate. CNN reported it, and in fact, Ben did go to Florida instead of New Hampshire or South Carolina. And so you got to understand.
Is it a dirty trick to confuse voters?
Is it a dirty trick to pass on your news stories? You're in the business. Would you think it was a dirty trick if I was forwarding an ABC story? Or is it just a dirty trick to pass on CNN stories?
Then, just moments after Cruz said that, CNN live on the air saying Cruz was trying to, quote, throw them under the bus.
Here are the facts. Dr. Carson's staff told us that he would return home to Florida to, quote-unquote, take a breath from the campaign before resuming his activities on the campaign trail.
CNN saying they never reported anything about a special announcement. Trump.
A dirty trick to confuse voters?
Is it a dirty trick to pass on your news stories? You're in the business. Would you think it was a dirty trick if I was forwarding an ABC story? Or is it just a dirty trick to pass on CNN stories?
A conversation about, can you ever be sued for reposting something? Are there any instances where that could get you into a lot of trouble?
Yes, you got to remember that on social media, you're effectively a publisher now, right? You are now publishing the same way anyone else is publishing information out there. So if you say something that is libelous or slanderous about someone else on social media, your defense can't just be, well, it's my Facebook page. I can say whatever I want. Hey, you can say whatever you want, and someone can sue you for what you said on there. Same thing goes with regard to sharing something.
Right.
If you are sending it out, you are publishing it, you can be held responsible for what is in that.
If you're reposting, somebody said it and you're reposting it?
Even if you're reposting, you're still the publisher.
All right.
Marco Rubio.
I think Ted's been very calculated and will say or do anything to get a vote.
But the granted state.